Hello everyone, today we're going to make homemade mayonnaise, and what I've chosen to do today is to put it in a 2-cup wide mouth sealer jar. This is so you only use one container. You don't have to mix your mayonnaise and then transfer it to another container. I found this is a very easy way to do it. So I will start by telling you what I have in my wide mouth jar, and that's 2 egg yolks, 1.5 tablespoons of vinegar, and you can use whatever kind of vinegar you like, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, and 1.5 cups of oil. And I've mixed oils. I've used 3/4 of a cup of a light olive oil and 3/4 of a cup of avocado oil. I just like that taste. You can use a combination of both, or all avocado oil is especially delicious. So I've put all these ingredients in my jar. I've put the essentially in the same order as my ingredients here, and put the oil in last and allowed it to sit for about 20 minutes for everything to settle. I've tried it without letting it rest and with mixed results, so I just let it rest for about 20 minutes. So now we are going to begin, and I'm going to use an immersion blender to begin making our mayonnaise. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to submerge the immersion blender on top of one of the egg yolks, or both of them if they're both on the same side, and we're going to gently pulse. Okay, we're going to continue doing this. Now I found when I first started making mayonnaise, when you first start making your mayonnaise, you want to go faster, so you actually pulse a little too fast and then your mayonnaise will split. So the key is to watch how it looks at the bottom and how thick it is. So I'm just going to demonstrate that without talking to see, so that we can watch how it turns out. I'm actually going to do this in real time if this is the first time you've made your mayonnaise. Now I could make a quicker video where I speed through this, but this was one of the issues that I had when I first started making it. You don't know exactly how much time you need to pulse, so I'm going to do it in real time for now so that you can see how it looks, and then cut out the rest. Okay, now you can see in the jar it starts to turn a creamy yellow color, and you can tell that it's thickening. And when you look over the top, you can see that if you look over the top, you can see that it looks like mayonnaise under oil. So we've gone about halfway up the jar now, and you can slightly move your immersion blender. Oop, my hand's in the way, sorry about that. To get a bit more oil in there, and again to continue to pulse in that fashion. And maybe turn it the other way. Turn it this way a bit. And if you want to see, if you look at the top, you see how it's coming together and it looks more and more like mayonnaise? That's what you want. So almost all the oil is used. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to lift the immersion blender about halfway up and continue to pulse in short pulses like that. Okay, I'll show you again now. This is what the top looks like after we've done that. Again, it looks almost like completely like mayonnaise except for a little bit of oil on top. So we're going to take care of that. Put it back down. We're going to pulse some more. Lift, pulse. So now what I'm essentially doing is I'm just making sure that it's homogeneous. You could actually remove this. There's a slight bit of oil on top, and you could just mix it in. But I'm just going to make sure that I have a bit more homogeneous look to my mayonnaise before I remove the immersion blender. So I'm going to continue. So, and this is what your mayonnaise looks like once you've done that. Okay, so now I think we're done. So I'm going to tap. The bulk of the mayonnaise off. I don't want to waste any, and I already have some on the side, which I don't want. So I'm going to, just with my little spatula, take as much of the mayonnaise that I've made off the blade. And then we'll have another look at it, show you what it should look like. There's also, once you've made your mayonnaise, you don't want to waste any of it. You don't want to leave half of it on your blade. Okay. So here we are. This is the mayonnaise we've just made in our wide mouth jar. Okay, and I'm just, oopsie daisy, I'm just going to clean up the jar a little bit and the mess I made. Okay. There's a number of mayonnaise recipes out there. I've given you the recipe I've used, but you can experiment with mustards and vinegars. And as I was saying, if when you're starting to make mayonnaise, your mayonnaise doesn't come together like this and it splits, there's an easy way to fix that, which I'll address in another video. Because again, about handy making your own mayonnaise. Use the wide mouth jar, and you can buy these plastic lids at any grocery store. Remember to put the date on the lid, because your homemade mayonnaise is only good for about a week. So I find that the little sticky note like that is the best way to remember what date you made it. Anyways, thank you very much. Please let me know what you think of my my first video, and hope to talk with you again soon.